this is all about the story of Finn. And let me tell you a bit more about Finn, a bit more about me, and then I would try to answer the question, is hypergrowth possible without automations? The question is no, but I mean, this presentation will be too simple, right? So what is Finn? Finn is a car subscription company in Germany and US. I think we are currently in 12 different states, East Coast in the US, and it's all inclusive except gas or electricity. Yeah, so insurance, registration, maintenance, tire exchange, all of these things are included. You just go to fin.com, select a car, it's getting delivered to your door, and that's it. And then you drive the car. As of today, we have 25,000 cars on the streets. So this company is also founded here in Munich, so that's why that's home turf. Of course, when Make Team asked us to present, hell yes, yeah, of course. And maybe a few words for those of you who don't know me. I'm Andy, 39 years old. I love trail running, I love mountains, and studied computer science and physics. Started coding back in the days in '93 with Quick Basic. Have you ever heard something about Quick Basic? Patrick, for sure. He's old enough, yes. I started my career back in the days as a backend engineer. Yeah? So I'm an engineer by heart, and spent 2 of my years with IBM R&D, working on the big Z machines, this big racks. Founded my first startup in 2013. Yes, oh God, boy. And then I moved on to another e-commerce company called Westwing. Worked there for 5 years, working on web development, iOS and Android, and for 11 different countries. Maybe this is one of the questions that we receive super often, especially in the last 2-3 years, right? Is no code scalable? The answer is, of course, no, and so on and so forth. But let me give you some numbers. It is scalable. We are doing no code since 2019. This is in October 2019, we founded Finn. It was a small team of 7, and we went live with fin.auto. This was our domain back in the days. And we started with Zapier and moved on to Integromat pretty fast. I think in November we had Integromat already. As of today, we have 220 monthly active users, Finn employees working with no code. We have like 400 employees worldwide and 220 working day by day. So we have some of them here, Bams and Dominic. It's an insider joke. So BAMS, this is another business automation manager. I would tell you in a second what that is. We have 3,300 active scenarios that we execute every day. And I think the most mind-blowing statement is we entered the US market with no code only. Why? Because we had no idea how to run a car subscription business in US. And maybe before we go into the slides, I'm going to share with you 7 or 8 different use cases that we automated. And of course, you could have done without no code, for sure. But it's not scalable. And to put this into perspective, we are operating 18 million operations. You're all Make users, hopefully. If not, you will know later what an operation is per day. Just to put it into perspective, this is 200 operations a second, average. Of course, it's a spiky execution, right? So it's for sure scalable. Of course, you have to put some structure into that, but this is not a problem. So the answer is, you can't. The question is, why is this such a great example, especially for Finn? In a nutshell, Finn's operation is asset light. This is a very complex business model to run. It's a physical product, 2,000 kilograms that you have to bring from A to B. It's not a digital product like Make. But it's really hard to execute. Tire exchange, you have to coordinate customers. It's an emotional topic, it's a car, right? What if the car breaks? And we have more than 30 different brands. like well-known brands like Tesla, new brands from Chinese OEMs like, I have to come up with some, I don't know, NIO, for instance, or also traditional companies like Volkswagen. So, by the way, it took us 2 years to get a framework contract with Volkswagen. That's their pace. So, why I'm saying that, we are always the smaller partner. We have to stay elastic. We have to be as fast as possible. And I have a guiding rule in my head. We should be able to integrate every single partner within 24 hours. And I don't care if they have an API, if they send emails. I don't care about the infrastructure. It's us. It's our responsibility to integrate them. This is our mode that we built. Some flexing. Oh boy, it's Windows. Okay, so on Mac it looks much better. Oh. I hope I have some. Oh, I need a second for myself too. No code is nothing else than an enabler for the whole company at Finn. That's it. And look, I am a CTO. When we founded Finn, I was tired of this discussions. Hey, how can we make engineers more efficient? Blah, blah, blah. You can, but that's not the point. You should focus on the 80%. The 80%, this is the one that you enable. Just to put this into perspective, GitHub, they provide developer tools. They have an engineering share of 35%. Out of 100 employees, 35 are engineers. The rest are non-engineers. You have to focus as a CTO on them. So we simplified the way how we can increase efficiency. This is a bullshit graphic, right? Don't take that. It's a nice graph. I mean, I think the scale is not even right. The 4.5 million and 18 million. It's like, it's just to put this into perspective. Let me give you a few examples. They might be super, super simple and makes like, okay, Andy, that's not a great example, but they make so much sense from different perspectives. And my goal today is to give you this perspective. When I've been an engineer, backend engineer, the most annoying task for me was implementing a product feed API. Who is an engineer? Come on, Patrick. Yes. And me. To acquire a customer, we have to spend $400+. It's an expensive business, so-called CAC, customer acquisition cost, CAC. We have to master marketing. And that's the reason why we export like our latest products. So if you have a new car, let's assume it's a new smart, we have to publish this to Meta, Instagram, Facebook, all this marketing challenge. And we have to do it instantly. When I was an engineer, I was coding that. For every single product feed, it's freaking annoying. You have to remove this task from the engineers. So we gave it to the marketing department. So we have we need a product feed for Facebook, for Google Shopping, affiliate partners. Same for US. In US, they have different, let's say, lead generation platforms. And this is the way how we do it. So at Finn, we can do it in no time, without any task for engineers. And this is essential. And especially this is key for such an expensive product. So if you have an expensive product, e-commerce, no code, excellent for marketing department. And if you would very often hear your IT guys telling you, but they're building up a shadow OT. Yes, they do. Yes. Because every company does that. And it's all good. The luxury is, if you use a no-code platform like Make, you know about the shadow IT because it's in one platform. It's not secretly hidden somewhere under the curtain. This is also a fun one. Not sure if you're aware, but we are processing 60,000 plus invoices. Printed out invoices. Because we're in Germany, we love paper. Yeah? Because it's something you can touch. You can throw it at people if you want. And this is just the invoices for cars, damages. We're not talking about speed violation tickets or things like that. 64,000 invoices. And we have all of them coming through our post office. They are scanned automatically by Deutsche Post. You pay just like, I don't know, $2,000 or something like that, and then they scan it PDF, and then we move on. And we made this wiring with Rossum AI. I think it's another Czech company, and we integrated that so we can run it on scale. Not a big deal. So if tomorrow, if we have like 600,000 invoices to process, easy peasy. And what's next? And why is such a no-code integration level so essential? We can easily replace that with AI. And this is what we do now. We use the latest GPT-4 Turbo already now to improve our accuracy. Just to save money, because each and every invoice is money. Okay, this one is a tricky one. Let me give you some context. We have now 400 employees. In the last 4 years, we hired 400 employees. To be honest, 600, because interns and working students, right? It's not a lot. You could have argued, why should you automate that? Because if you make a mistake in payroll or contracts, it's a major mistake. I mean, if you just add 1 0 at the end of the salary, it's all of a sudden instead of 3,000, 30,000. I think you would be fine with that, right? Except the other way around, right? The other way around, if you got 300 instead of 3,000, you're pissed. We have 30 different nationalities working for Finn. So payroll there's no room for errors. And if you have an error, it should be structural. So that's why we automate that completely. And why is this such an important use case for us? Because it's the HR department doing that. Our people experience manager, they go to automate that, voila, connect with Personio. Some Personio people here? Man, I had the bashing for them. Get them. I think they have finally a make integration, right? Yeah, finally. So, because our API key got blocked once in a month because it's abused, because we had too many automations. So apologize for that. I hope it's not recorded. Apologize, because they're also a Munich-based company. So you see, it could be a simple task where if you think from a nutshell, there's no need to automate that, but use this as an opportunity to enable a department to run automations. Actually, in intern, it was an intern just implementing that. We connected the API and then voila, move on. Same for new joiners. So if you have employees starting with Finn, we provision their accounts, they get access to make instantly, and we call it provision all and deprovision fast. Once the intern is leaving us after 6 months, automated, one button, and the accounts are all deprovisioned. Okay, this is, I think, the automation that brought us most of the money. So we have 65,000 cars. Now we have a math case here. 40% of our cars are EVs, and we save up to 6,700 plus euros per car with this automation. It's a nice use case. 3 interns, 3 weeks, done. The use case is the following if you're not from Germany. You buy an EV, you apply on a government website. There's no capture or something like that, so you can automate easily. They will approve that. A week, a month later, you got physical letter, again, Deutsche Post, paper. Yeah. We scan that, check our bank account. If the money is on our bank account, it's also the full amount. And this whole process will take you a month. This is fully automated. No people involved here. That's a lot of money we earned with that. And it's also an interesting one because I think this should give you an indication if you have a media break, online, offline, or offline, offline, and also online, online. use that as an opportunity to automate. There's so much potential in there very often. By the way, I'm addicted to sugar-free drinks. Crazy. You can confirm that, right? Monster energy drink. It's crazy. Question to the audience. Who's having a car? What do you think? So we offer blank new shiny cars to our customers. So what do you think how we exchange production date with OEMs? OEMs like Tesla, Volkswagen, you name it. What do you think? How would you integrate that? We have some tech guys here. You would use an API, right? Hey, please notify me if my new BMW blob is done. Yeah. And this is good. Don't get me wrong, that's good. The APIs are there. We are the smaller partner again. Don't forget. Look, we are a small company. We are like, hey, we are the new guys. Give us 1,000 cars. And they're like, who is that? Right? Why should we work with them? So you have to build up trust. So you take what they give you. And they give you an email with an attachment. So you take that. As of today, we have 0 APIs with any OEMs. This year, we will get there. So we exchange production dates with our OEMs with an email and an email attachment. Quick diff. What are the changes? And then we apply this on our database. And let's talk about the last 4 years. Pandemic, supply bottlenecks, geopolitical instability. So all the production dates that got moved around, you have no idea. And we have to communicate this to the customers. Because what we sell is convenience. Hey, you don't have to worry about it. We take care of that. That's essential for our business model. Of course, if we have to notify the customers, hey, it's delayed, then we will do so. But we have to know that it's delayed. So without make this we could have implemented that. It's an easy email hook and then, just process the data, but nevertheless, we can do it easily without any developer integrations here. Now, can I bash SAP now? Yes. Yeah, it's not really. Who was that? Oh, very emotional. I like that. It's like, okay. Some more context to that. I'm not bashing SAP because SAP is a nice system. It's a really nice system. For us, it's the perfect financing and accounting system. Why that? A car is a heavy asset. We pay for a car on average like $40,000. So missing a single data point is equal to missing $40,000. Makes sense. So SAP is our financial system, and we manage our most important assets, cars, expensive assets. Just to put it into perspective, we manage $500 million with SAP. The problem is SAP is not very known for having simple or understandable APIs. Yeah. The way how we approach this problem is, look guys, we cannot change SAP, right? Impossible. But we have, again, stay elastic. We integrate with them. And we do it with Make. And we do nothing else than reverse ETL. So our data warehouse stack is a modern data stack. That's the name, and not an invention by me. A BigQuery, Fivetran, Looker, and dbt. So we propagate this information, this correlated information from our data warehouse to SAP. And we use Make for that. It's the most reliable implementation for us because we have full traceability, full monitoring. So we have a dedicated instance. You can imagine we are not running on the cloud. So we have our own private cloud in Frankfurt. So we can always trace down if we have any issues. And that's essential. Again, don't forget, one data point, 40,000 euros. So you should better have more than one engineer understanding the process. And this is how you can do it, right? It's not. I'm not saying an engineer is not capable to understand that. I'm saying you should have more than one person on that. And last but not least, is it the last one? Yes, I think so. No, is efficient customer service. The way how we integrate GPT is also with Make. Simple, because we can. That's why we do. And all our customer care requests are got answered by GPT as a draft, and the customer care agents would just press, hey, approve, all good. For now, it's not yet customer facing. Why that? Fun story, no joke. A customer was asking, a lot of details about the car, and GPT offered, hey, you can have a test ride. Just come over to our office. They're like, no, you can't. No. Real case. Yeah. So it was because we trained GPT to be really as convenient as possible for a customer. So that's why we still have a last approval step. But there's a second example, and I think this is a great example. We deliver this car with delivery drivers. So the car is produced, the car is on a compound. It's a big lot, like as big as this one, with 70, 80,000 cars. They pick up the car and deliver this car to the front of a customer. So this car would never see a dealership. You can imagine this driver. I mean, they're on the road, a physical road. There can be a traffic jam. There are so many things where they're late or maybe too early. And in order to communicate with the customers, they would send us an email, a short message, a WhatsApp, or would use an in-house tool. So we use a provider for that. In this whole conversation, you see that question, answer, conversational AI. We use GPT for that. So if a driver is sending to us an email, not us, GPT. And we can easily implement that with Make. This is how we do it. Get more convenience, understand how we can sharpen and tweak our prompts, and then we can put this into code if required. One last slide. And this is the way how I think about automations. No-code is one way to implement automations. But no-code is the best way to 10x your employees. So you give your employees, people, marketing, operations, finance, the equipment to be 10x. We have an approach, oh God, this formatting is Windows formatting, apologize for that, I knew that. We have an approach, we call it do it, automate it. And this is my statement. So if you think about how to implement this in your company, do it once manually, do it the second time manually, and then automate it. Take the time. And this is how we do it. Questions? Where do we store the data? Of course, we have our own database. We have our own Postgres database. So we are using Make to process data. If we have stale information where you don't need state, like state, of course you can use Make data stores. But if we wipe them, business is not affected. So we don't use Make to store data. S3, Postgres, 99% of the data is in Postgres. But it's a valid question. So for instance, let's say data that is, I don't know, like that we have to store for a day or two. Sometimes we use Airtable for that. But I don't mind. I mean, if you're the one who implementing that, you decide on which data storage. Yeah, excellent question. Shoot. The question is if we sell the cars, if we offer car subscription in Europe and US, in Germany and in US.
And then follow-up question, do you have is it as a German company or as a US company?
The question is if we are a German or US company. We are a German company. Yeah. So we have like 50 employees in US, in New York, and 350 plus in Germany, in the headquarter here in Munich.
Okay, and for invoice processing, you use Rossum,
Yes.
you said?
Yes, we use Rossum for the detection, AI detection. Simple use case, 99% of the use cases is you have a letter, it could be a repair shop, and you have to detect the license plate. We take the license plate and map it to the customer, right? Speed violation tickets is the same, right? So you went too far, you got the speed violation ticket, license plate, we have to forward this letter to the customer and then notify the respected police station. We have another question.
Would you maybe share what tools you provide to new employees to get started in your workflow and also to make them calmer?
Can you repeat the question a bit louder? Sorry.
Would you maybe be willing to share what tools you provide to new employees when you're onboarding them and... Oh, hi. Okay, no.
Hi.
Third time's the charm, or...
So the question is what tools we provide to our employees to get started with, right? In context of no code,
Yes, so maybe you have like a learning base, or you provide them with a guardian just to get in your workflows and everything.
yeah. So we have a multi-layered approach. First of all, we take the onboarding week very, very serious. So most of our employees are remote, but we get you in the office, we fly you in full week, we hammer this information into your head. We have like onboarding sessions. We give access, everyone would get access by default to Make, for instance, to all other tools as well. We call it provision all. Very simple. So we give you the tools to fuck it up. Prove us that you are able and smart enough to fuck it up, because we can fix it. We proved it multiple times. You have to prove it us that you understand and you can break that. I'm not afraid as an engineer if things are falling apart, because if things are not falling apart, you are too slow. Simple.
How do you handle that?
How do we handle what?
Yeah. If things fall apart?
Panic. First things panic. Panic. Because this is super helpful, just emotionally. So I can answer the question, because how would you handle that as an engineer? No. Engineers are super relaxed on that. They would never panic. You know, shit is burning. Everything is like crazy. And they're like, yeah, I take a coffee. And you're like, wow. Why? And the question is, it's an excellent question. You nailed it. Is well-known tools and approaches that we know from engineering. Get your fucking monitoring and get your alerting. So we have a dedicated team called Tooling and Security. They build a monitoring on top of our make scenarios, most important make scenarios. So we have like P1, P0, P2. And we know if a business critical, we call the money-making scenario, is failing. Then you can use the well-known alerting tools. In development, we use PagerDuty, OpsGenie. There are so many out there. And alert. And then you have a clear escalation. Right? So if the website is down for 15 minutes, we have a clear escalation policy. The team has to acknowledge this, that they know about the problem. If they do not, 15 minutes later, I got a short message on my phone. If I don't acknowledge that, our CEO would get the call. It's a clear escalation policy. And this is what you do in engineering. No need to invent that for no-code. You just use the exactly same tool. And I think there's now a session on the next features for Maker. Maybe they have this feature again. Do you have that? Apologize, we have another gentleman over there. And then, please.
Short answer. Are you satisfied with the scanning service of Deutsche Post for your invoices and paper coming in?
No, but it's fine.
Yeah?
They are scanning.
We tried Kaya and it was a nightmare for scanning. So if you tell...
The main problem is not the detection. The main problem is the scanning is crap, right? It's rotation. Then this way, they're great. But this is something AI has to solve. I cannot tell a Deutsche Post employee that is underpaid to scan it correctly. This question, then last one. Should.
Is there any things that you say you prefer not to automate? Well, you said your customer support, you want your employees to review it first. Is there anything else you say this is like something I don't want to automate, maybe like purchasing or purchasing decisions, for example.
So, in my ideal world, every employee should write the automation to replace themselves. From a business perspective, you generate value from an economic, macroeconomic perspective, so you can automate everything. But I'm saying automate everything. If it would be on me, I would use also the interviewing process with AI. Maybe I should have the final kind of check on the final interview, but that's it. But I think, move on, just automate things. You will see there are some things that can't be automated. But the good news is all the complainers will tell you what's not possible. No worries about that. They will tell you what's not possible. And yeah, you just move on. Last question.
When you went to the US, how many scenarios did you have to rebuild or redesign? And how do you make sure they're synchronized internally in the US?
Excellent question. So the question is, what are the scenarios that we rewrote when entering the US market? And what are the ones that we synchronized? We don't synchronize at all. So, and this is a fun one to understand. We call it global operation processes and local. The differences between US and Germany from a market perspective is zero. The market is the same. Everyone is driving the same cars. It's even on the right side, not on the left side. It's on the right. All good. It's all good. But car registration is a completely different process. In US, it's a state business. In Germany, if you have to register a car, you get the license plate. You can register this in Munich and get the license plate delivered to somewhere else. In US, it's state by state by state by state. So the operational implementations, we build them from scratch. So compound provider, for instance, in US, the one with like 70, 80,000 cars. In Germany, paper-based. No joke, pen and paper. In US, digital. Fully digital. They have APIs. You can ask, where's the car? Is it washed? Is it ready to deliver? In Germany, hello. Every operational process, yes. Marketing, website, same. It's just translation and different currency. Supply, also slightly different. In Germany, we have an OEM market. In US, we have a dealership market. Details. We can talk for decades about that. If you have more questions, just let me know and then ask me. I'm standing over there, so you can ask me everything, yeah? Thank you very much.